You know what they say about the WeWe? It comes in ways that you would never expect. You know what they also say about my friend over here? It's pretty retro. Yeah, that's right. We're doing Star Wars. The WeWe versus Star Wars. That's right. We're gonna come right at you, right after we get a message from this bud right here. The WeWe. It's an interesting series, to say the least. Has a lot of potential. That's what they say. Today, we're gonna do versus Star Wars. What does that even mean? Well, Star Wars is an interesting series. You see, it's basically about the Sky Monks. They have swords, and it's a Western. That's it. That's the whole premise. I mean, it's set in space and stuff, but like, if you remove all the sci-fi, that's basically what it is. You got like, oh, the damsel in distress, and blah blah blah. Basically, that's the definition in its entirety. That is what Star Wars is. Though there are three trilogies. Three trilogies? I don't know if that's correct, but there are. That is fact. It's fact. Round 1. Wide good. Okay. This one I don't understand. I'm not saying Star Wars bad movie. I'm just saying it's overrated. It's way overrated. And here's why. Star Wars, as a concept, I've already explained. So it's not like it's very complex. There are many movies like it. And it's not interesting in the broader context of things. But here's the main issue I have with Star Wars. So, the main issue with the Star Wars series in general is it's overrated. And here's why it's overrated. It mainly stems from the fact that it doesn't have much going for it in the appeal. That's not very innovative. They did a lot of cool CGI, and before in the originals they did a lot of cool props, and that was innovative. The way they did the movie was innovative. The way they filmed it, innovative. But the way the script and the story and the characters, well, they're not very innovative. It's been done before. There are movies like Star Wars before Star Wars existed. The only thing that makes Star Wars special is because it's sci-fi. And people like sci-fi. That's just how it works. They want to be in their sci-fi fantasy world. Little princesses and unicorns, and it's just magic. It's like a kids movie for adults. That's all it is.
Hey, I'm the Cooper here. And today we'll be making some delightful double ends.
Will we?
Reviewing the prequel trilogy.
Uh-huh. Round 2. We're good takes.
Now I feel like
This take. We're gonna talk about this take.
So, let's start with part 1.
I need to make this quieter. Okay. We're going to talk about why this take is bad. So, it's not bad in what it's saying. It's saying the other movies aren't as good as they're rated. And the prequels get a lot of slouch. which I agree. However, I think the prequels get slouched that they deserve, and the other ones get undeserved credit. See, the first trilogy made, it wasn't that good. It's just, two of the movies are exactly the same, and one of them's good for a movie. If you look at the, like, a lot of the movies are based off of, like, one of them is, you got a rebel base, and it's under attack by the big baddie empire, right? Well, that's like a more modern depiction of, like, the Battle of the Alamo or something like that. It's kind of the same feeling. The difference is that the Battle of the Alamo was a battle to the death, and yeah. But, like, it's what movies used to be, but sci-fi, and that's what's so cool about it, right? But it gets credit for, like, it's some God-given, and then you see people being like, on the prequels, which I think have a better storyline than the original trilogy, and then people are like, George Lucas, he messed that all up, when his story's better, and even his graphics are better. It's just his characters kind of flat. Though they were flat in the original trilogy too. The difference being that in the original trilogy, the movies were more plot driven. Well, they're both actually very plot driven. It'd be more, I think, if you look at the characters, there are just a couple bad characters in the prequels, where most of the characters in the original are just kind of mediocre, where you have really bad apples in the prequels. Now, the sequels are just movies. Don't think of them as Star Wars, and you'll be like, oh, they're okay. And I think that there's just too much nostalgia around Star Wars, and yeah, that's basically my take on that, on bad takes. So I would rate that the take. I rate the takes for the movie a 0 out of 10. The takes are pretty much all, 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 for the takes. 1 out of 10. Round 3. Explain the retro. Here's what I don't understand. So, retro things. Like, they have an excuse to be retro. But to reboot a series that is retro, it just, at some point, it starts making sense. It's like, if you were to bring back analog radio, for example. Well, there are some people who would like that, but why? Not everybody would use it. It just doesn't make sense. It's the same with Star Wars. For Star Wars to be good, it needs to evolve. It never does. Every movie is the same. It's like a nostalgia trip. That's all the series is. They have different story. They fill in the universe more with every movie, but like, they're not doing something new with every single installment. They're not demonstrating something new. Like the prequels, they demonstrated something new, I guess, as a trilogy. The sequels didn't, and I guess the original did, but like, there are 3 movies to demonstrate this, which I actually prefer them to split it up instead of making it one long movie. However, if the Star Wars original, they weren't demonstrating the technology for 3 movies. One movie was so successful that they wanted to make a cash grab and make 2 more. So it's not like they actually had a plan going for it. Where in the prequels, they needed to make 3 movies. Well, they only need to make 2 if you really think about it, but they made 3 movies because that was the plan. And so the retro, it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. My knees are killing me, holy crap. Who knew that putting your knees on concrete for long periods of time was bad for them or something like that? So overall, in the retrograde, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's pretty retro. All right. In conclusion, well, we have to do the rating first. So I'll give you my rating. The overall rating, well, the series as a whole is a senile. It's senile. It's past its golden years. So there's not really a chance. It has a 3.6 GPA, which is very average. It has, I don't think it has any chance to be redeemed. It should just be, they shouldn't make any more Star Wars movies. It's done. They should just consider it done. They seem to be able to make better TV shows than they make series currently, which is fair. It's very fair. It's understandable. I mean, only 45 minutes. Yeah. Conclusions. Everything I say is right, and I'm always right. I'm always correct. And if you think I'm wrong, you're wrong. What else?